Lovecraft Country deals with the horrors of racism, Afrofuturism, with Lovecraftian concepts blended into the mix. In this video we'll explore the concept of the Book of Names. This will contain spoilers for the book and the show, so if you do not wish to be spoiled, please watch another video of mine. The Book of Names is meant to be written in the language of Adam. This language contains various symbols. One of them appears to be an Arabic letter. The Arabic letter is the letter Nun. This could have come from the word San in Arabic, which means safeguarded or saved, and the last letter of the word San is a Nun. So perhaps the protection symbol is based on this word San. This is the same symbol that Christina Braithwaite draws in dust to teach it to Atticus, and in some scenes it appears to be an upside down Arabic letter. In Matt Ruff's book, there is an interesting chapter in the novel called Abdullah'S Book. The Book of Names is written in the language of Adam. The show references Genesis 2:19.
And out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof.
There is a similar account in the Islamic tradition, in the Quran 2:31, which describes this very scene depicted in the painting. And he taught Adam all the names of everything. Then he showed them to the angels and said, "Tell me the names of these if you are truthful." They said, "Glory be to you, we have no knowledge except what you have taught us. Verily it is you, the All-Knower, the All-Wise." So God taught Adam the names of everything, and it was only Adam who knew this knowledge. So he was bestowed this honor of knowledge before the angels were. The chapter Abdullah'S Book seems to be one of the pivotal chapters of Lovecraft Country. Abdullah Muhammad is his proper name, but his given name was Percy Jones. Abdullah was supposed to appear in scenes with Uncle George and Montrose Freeman. Originally there were two books, the Book of Days and the Book of Names. The Book of Days was an account of the great-grandmother of Uncle George and Montrose Freeman. It contained information on the servitude, the labours she performed, the indignities she suffered, and the wages and penalties she was owed. Their great-grandmother was called Ada, and the book was supposed to be passed to Uncle George. And Ada used to charge the penalties based on Bible numbers, such as 27:26 being the verse in Matthew's Gospel, which I thought was a very clever idea. To cut a long story short, the book was stolen. The book was taken by Caleb Braithwaite, depicted in the show as Christina Braithwaite. Caleb Braithwaite offered to give the book back to George and Montrose in exchange for the Book of Names. When Atticus, Uncle George and Montrose are introduced to the Book of Names, they think it's the Necronomicon, but Braithwaite corrects them and says, the Book of Names is just the opposite of the Necronomicon. Its subject is life, transformation, Genesis. And just a quick reminder, if you are new to the channel, I would really appreciate a like, share and subscribe. If you like these videos and wish to see more, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so that you can be first to be notified of new videos. Now that is out the way, let's get back to it. In a lodge meeting, the Book of Names is discussed. They then talk about H.P. Lovecraft and the Necronomicon. The whole team is there, including Abdullah, Uncle George, Montrose and Atticus. They mention that the Necronomicon is a book of black magic. They then mention how it was written by the mad Arab Abdul Alhazred. Abdullah comments, the stuttering Arab more like. It's Abd al, not Abdul. Abd means servant and al is the. So Abd al-Alhazred would be servant of the Hazred, which I thought was a very funny scene. Not only does it inform of H.P. Lovecraft's supposed error, but it also teaches you a little about Arabic and its grammar and how it is used and what the al stands for. So I love this scene and I wish it was still included in the series. And it's also very true. Author Matt Ruff knows what he's talking about here. Uncle George comments that it doesn't matter whether the book of magic is real or not, and the connotations of this going into the hands of someone evil disturbs Abdullah, and he says it does matter. He says it does to me, and then Abdullah presses his hand to his chest. He says, Abd Allah, servant of God. There's a lot I'll do for a lodge brother, George, but one thing I won't be party to is making an evil man more powerful. It sounds like Caleb Braithwaite is bad enough already. So he explains his name and his connection to the Necronomicon, the scenario, and his conscience, and what it means to give up something evil to someone evil. And of course he doesn't want to do that. But they still had the dilemma of having to get back Alhazred's book that belongs to Georgia and Montrose, their great-grandmother's book. Abdullah Muhammad has a way into the museum, and their plan was to go to the museum, get the Book of Names, swap the Book of Names, and replace it with a fake Book of Names. The Book of Names was supposed to go to Abdullah Muhammad, who would then destroy the book in flames by burning it in an incinerator in the basement of their new prayer room. It would be called a masalla instead of a masjid, which means a mosque in Arabic. So they break into the museum, retrieve the Book of Names, but are then confronted by Braithwaite, who threatens the family of Abdullah, so he has to give up the Book of Names to save his wife, Rashida, and his son Omar from death. He reluctantly hands over the Book of Names. But on the plus side, the debts owed to Ada, the great-grandmother of Georgia Montrose, are repaid in full and more by Braithwaite. And although the Book of Names ends up in the wrong hands, if it wasn't for Abdullah, the group wouldn't have even retrieved the Book of Names from the museum. In the transpiring events of the Book of Names ends up being back in the hands of Abdullah, and Braithwaite offers him money to get the book back. But Abdullah this time says, not for every last dollar you have. It's for the flames. In that way, he keeps his previous promise to destroy the book in flames and redeems himself. I would have loved for this character to have been kept in the show. Perhaps they will create a character based on him in the future of the series. But what do you think of the show, and what do you think of the character Abdullah? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and click the bell so that you can be first to be notified of new videos. If you like this channel, you can support me on Patreon, where you'll get exclusive content and access to new material ahead of time. And now you can join this channel as a member, where you'll receive exclusive access to special content and more. Thank you to my channel members and my Patreons for your support. And until next time, see you soon.